interesting. Okay, now, just why did you want to join our team, our location here? Great, okay. Right, okay. Well, I'm just joking. This isn't a interview role play. This is ASMR Update 55. Hello there, and welcome to ASMR 55. You like that intro? Good, okay. Today, as you may have told, I am going to be telling a story about getting a job and then not getting a job. Great. So, I think I should preface this by saying that I've never had a job before. I've never applied to a job before. So, this would be a first. My old country, you had to wait until you were 18 to get a job, which is probably how it should be, but and then by the time I was 18, there was, stuff happened, so I never had a job before, so this would be a first, right? So, the first ever job I applied for was at Walmart. Yeah, not the most glamorous of jobs. I went through their site and I did everything. I applied to the local Walmart, which was only about a 10-minute walk away, so it would have been great if I could just get there and actually work there, as I can only just walk 10 minutes and I'll be completely fine. Except they never responded back to me. Even now, they still have not even responded, not even a rejection. They just completely ignored me, which is just like how most people ignore me. And so, not a good first start. the story, I should probably tell you why I wanted to get a job in the first place. Well, the answer is pretty simple. Money. Perhaps you don't realize this about me yet, but I like money. Not money, but I like what money can get me. I don't know if you've seen this about me, known this about me yet, but I like spending money. Closet. I know you can't see them, but my Lego sets are over there, just off frame. I like spending money, and this is a problem because I don't have a lot of money now. So getting a job would be a easy avenue of getting more money so that I can spend for myself and for the channel, because to be honest, most money I spend on myself, I'm also spending on the channel now. I'm pretty much sharing everything I'm buying, unless it's like medical stuff. Okay. But the reason was for money. Great. That's enough. I want to make a formal introduction. I know I made this, shown this off in the last video, but I would like to make a formal introduction to NyQuil. This is our new trigger. Alright, as you can see, I've actually taken a few drinks of this after I finished my medication to help with the tail end. So it makes nice liquid sounds. So please welcome NyQuil, Honey Boy, in the comments down below. There you go. Very nice. So, money, that's the only reason why we're here. Okay, so I took a break of applying for jobs after Walmart. I looked into some jobs, I looked into an Amazon job. You might see me in an Amazon workshop, pissing in bottles, packaging bags, and all that jazz. I thought I could maybe get a job at FedEx in the warehouse, just, packaging plants, as I thought they won't need too much human interaction, and the only interaction I would have with is the boxes themselves. So I thought those could probably be good jobs. The locations near me are too far away, so I couldn't get any of those jobs. Then the next job I really applied to was Walgreens, which once again is not the most high class of jobs. noticing a little bit of a common trend here. Completely ignoring me. Yeah, it's not fun being me, okay? But I know what you're thinking and I know what you're verbally saying to yourself. Hammer movie. This isn't you almost getting a job. This is you not even getting responded to. You didn't even come close to a job. Well, my astute, dear, lovely viewers, that's where my last application comes in. Look at that, it's a two-man team. NyQuil boy, very nice. And my last application is to drumroll McDonald's. Probably the highest class of locations. You cannot get a better job than at McDonald's. Great, great. But I have to say, applying to McDonald's is really easy. If you haven't applied to a job and you just want to see if you can test the waters, applying to McDonald's, it's the easiest one. It's literally just like a text message response where you're talking to like a robot AI that's pretending to be a human, and they just ask you questions and then you answer them, and then they just schedule a meeting. Also, a more sort of formal introduction trigger here. Sponge Man. We did this in the scratching and tapping, but I want a more formal introduction. Got the forbidden two signs. Sponge Man. Okay. So, the McDonald's application process is so easy, in fact, that I did not even realize that I was actually signing up for a in-person meetup interview until after the fact. That's how easy it was. And so I was in a bit of a pickle, as I did not realize I was actually signing up for an in-person interview. was. Then I also realized after the fact that I applied to the wrong location. It just got worse and worse, okay? There is a McDonald's that's 10 minutes away from me, the one I was trying to apply to. But then there was also a McDonald's that was 30 minutes away from me. And I accidentally applied to the one that was 30 minutes away. But I already signed up for an in-person interview. I can't just not show up, right? That's what I thought. I had to at least go. Why not? I was free the day I had the interview, so I thought I would just do a nice, great expedition over to the McDonald's that was 30 minutes away. So I went. I walked there, 30-minute walk, okay? And I got there, and this particular McDonald's was in a hospital, which is probably the worst place I would want to work. A McDonald's in a hospital. God. Okay. And so, by the way, this hospital was a goddamn maze. I could barely figure out anywhere. Well, like the walls were changing and interlocking with each other. I damn near got lost, near starved to death in there. But I barely managed to find the place. So I entered the McDonald's and I asked, I was like, I am here for a McDonald's interview. My name is Hammer Movie. And so they were like, oh, Hammer Movie, I've heard of you. I've seen your YouTube videos. They didn't say that that was a lie. They said, oh, well, look at this loser. Okay, how about you go sit over there where you belong? And they put a little dunce hat on me, and I just sat there. That was also a lie. They didn't do that either. They just sat me over, and then I just waited there on my phone for like 15 minutes. she sat me down in a corner, and I've seen those like crime scene investigations. I know what she was doing with the body language. Okay, she thought she could corner me, but she couldn't. I managed to slip out. What am I saying? Okay. And she basically sat me down and she said, "Sorry for the wait. We weren't ready for you." Really? You weren't ready for me? Well, then what was the purpose of me coming here? If you weren't ready, I could have probably skipped this and never have come here. I don't even want the job here. I applied to the wrong location. In fact, I hate you and this location, and I'm never gonna eat at McDonald's again. I didn't say that, I just thought that, and I didn't even think that. Also, another trigger that you've seen before, but I want to give a more formal introduction to. Water bottle man. One thing that I found interesting about job interviews is, job interviews are always supposed to be like this thing that's very stressful, anxiety inducing, something you should practice before you actually go to do it. Just run yourself through a couple questions to make sure you know what your answer would be, right? I didn't do any of that. I didn't practice at all. I barely even thought of this job interview. And so, going in, I was a little bit nervous. But, let me say this. It was one of the easiest things I've ever done. I just answered all of her questions truthfully and honestly. And that was it. There were a couple lies in there. I did tell a couple lies, but of course you got an lie occasionally in a job interview. She told me, tell me about yourself, and then I did. I told her some long story about my childhood or something stupid, and then she's like, why do you want to work at McDonald's? This is a sort of a lie. I mean, who wants to work at McDonald's, right? So I gave her a lie, but it was really easy. this job interview, it was so easy to impress her that I actually almost got the job nearly on the spot. The only issue was that my schedule, my class schedule, was a bit weird, so it sort of interfered with the timings. But no problem of my own. She said that. She even said, this is a direct quote, "I really like you. You seem good. I don't see a problem with hiring you. I just need to check with my superiors." Exact quote that she said. So, and to be honest, let's be honest, it's just a brief moment of brutal honesty. It's kind of hard not to like me, right? I'm probably the coolest guy you could ever meet. I mean, and then my muscles are also very large, so of course, they would hire me on the spot, right? So, I mean, I just don't mean to brag, that's just how I am. Some people are just born like that. And this lady was actually really, really nice. When I was leaving the interview, she actually gave me a large Pepsi for free. I actually still have the cup. This was the cup she gave me. I washed it out just so I could show it to you today. She gave me this very cup. My first job interview proof that I got it. I don't know why. There you go. But I had to go in for a second interview just so I can meet one of their superiors and also so they can communicate me the schedule. So she said that she would call me on Monday. Not this Monday, this was a couple weeks back. They would call me on Monday. So I was very anxious for the call. That was water bottle. Of course, I had to bring whale shark boy with such an important occasion. We haven't seen him in a very long time, have we? That's a lie. You saw him in the last episode, just not as a trigger. this location. So this is a bit of a pickle we are in now. So we're sort of going to the point of no return where if I can't just go there and just say no, right? So what do I do? And then also to make things even worse for me, I began to really think over that weekend towards that Monday, and I really began to think of what I wanted to do and what my future could be. And I sort of ultimately decided that no, no, I don't want a job yet. I don't think I'm ready for a job yet. And so this realization is kind of not a good thing when you are going for interviews for a job, right? So we are in a we are in nuclear launch DEFCON 2 right now, and she is going to call me on Monday. Not this Monday, it already happened, so. So, very worried. Now I want to play a little bit of a Jeopardy here with you. Let's play a little fun game. Leave in the comments down below your answer and no cheating. Do I A. Tell her when she calls me, I'm sorry, I do not want this job anymore, on the phone with her? Okay, that's number A. So put this in the comments. B. Do I just ignore her calls, ignore the interview, ignore that this has ever happened before and just move on with my life? Okay, that's B. Or do I C. Tell her that I will go there on the scheduled date and not show up and just completely ignore it, a little bit different from me? That is C. So leave in the comments down below what you think I did. No one's gonna comment. you what it was. It was D. That's right. None of those things happened. Why? Because she never called me. She never called me back. Wow. 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 The absolute disrespect. Now, I was ready. I had a script prepared and everything. I was ready to just reject her on the spot. Alright, I was ready to tell a lie. Well, I basically just said that I had a job in another place. I found another job. Thank you very much for, calling me and supporting me, but I found another job. I was ready to tell the lie in her face. Well, not in her face, in the phone. I was ready, but she never called me. Never have I been so insulted, so annoyed to not experience an experience that what I would never want to experience. What? So she never called me. That was well, Shark Boy. I have shower cap. Never called. I did receive a text 4 days later. So clearly not the most, well timed establishment. I don't know. Clearly they do not stick to their word. And I responded back in text exactly what I said. I said that I unfortunately found another job somewhere else. That was a lie. I didn't find a job. No one even responded to me other than McDonald's. I just flat out lied. And so that was sort of my story and how I almost got a job. Honestly, it seemed to me like this McDonald's was very disorganized. They weren't ready for me when I came in, and they did not call me when they said they would call me. And, I sort of value some importance of saying what you will do and then actually sticking to it. So this McDonald's did not seem very well organized to me. So you really need to prove yourself to me. You need to prove your establishment to me. It's not, are you good enough for me to work for you? It's if I'm good enough. No, it's if you're good enough for me to work for you. I messed it up, okay. this story, this little anime arc that I had behind the scene made me realize something about myself, and that is that I sort of just do things without really considering it. Like, for example, in this story, I applied for a job without really knowing if I really wanted a job yet. Or another example, I applied to college without really knowing if I really wanted to go to college or not. I just sort of do things for, I guess, kind of the sake for doing them without really knowing if I really wanted to do them or not. And so that's what I've noticed about myself through this story. That's my little reflection piece. So, yep. I actually don't even think it was a good idea for me to get a job in the first place, since, I obviously have this channel, so I couldn't beat on that. And then also, I'm not doing well in school right now, and I don't think adding a job to the mix will do much help in that. So, I don't think it's a good idea for me to even have a job right now. So, yes, there it is, my story on how I almost got a job. Yep, I refuse to be a slave to capitalist America. Thus far, I have managed to avoid it. I won't become your worker. You know, I thought this video was actually going to be short, but actually this video was quite long. I didn't realize I talked this much. I originally had some smaller stories to the side that I would sort of pad out the runtime, just small things that I wanted to say, but since this video is almost like, I don't know, 15 minutes long or something wild, I don't know, after editing, I think I'll just save those stories for a later time. But I will see you next time. I love you enough. Not enough to get a job for you, really. I don't know, it just seems like so much work. Can't I just be a YouTuber where I just make videos? This is perfect level of work for me. Okay, I will see you next time. I love you. I said those things twice. Okay, I will see you next. God damn it, I said that like 3 times. Okay, bye bye. A kiss.